week whenever I'm.
Oh, don't get weird about it, Lance.
Don't be weird about it.
Shut up.
Shut up, Lance.
Shut up, Tim.
I'm here to hold you accountable.
You know what? Play that fucking badass intro music.
You about ready?
Let's do this. Fuck yeah. It's 8:59. Hang on a second. Give me 30 seconds.
Should I count down or just go with it?
No. Just hang on. Give me 20 seconds. I may have to fart here in a minute. We don't want anybody to hear that.
Well, we're on the air, so
oh, look.
do that loud.
What up? So this does this chat, is it filtered from Facebook?
Yeah, it should come from Facebook.
All right, we're live. Let's go.
It says live Facebook comments show up on StreamYard. This is an example. Click on the comment to show it on screen.
All right.
Why would you do that?
Yep, it's 9 o'clock.
See how it works. Look at that. Look, it showed up.
Roll this bitch.
Kind of cool. All right, we're not going to do it.
Roll
All right,
it.
you ready to stick this pig?
Fuck this, stick this pig.
Hey, who do you want to do the intro?
Oh, here, you got it on there. Give it, Benny. He called me.
What up, party people? You're listening to the Drunk Sports Podcast with Big Red and IndyCar Tim. Talking sports, current events, guy stuff, and everything in between. Now, open up a cold one and drink along. Because here they are, Lance and...
We're all drunk.
Absolutely.
And hello, and welcome to a split Drunk Sports Podcast. I am IndyCar Tim, along with my favorite partner, who is now like 8 countries away.
Still Big Red, baby.
Mr. Big Red, who is currently in the thriving metropolis of Monroe City, Missouri.
A hopping city of 450 people, man. We are sticking this pig all the way out from Missouri.
At the Dugout Sports Bar and Grill on Vine Street in Monroe, Missouri.
The Dugout Sports Bar, Grill, and Steakhouse from Vine Street. Yes, sir.
And I am at, what are we calling this? Studio Tim at Tim's house?
It's Studio 68 because we do it from there. Then you owe me one, so...
Well, I am not at Studio 69 in Casa Not So Grande, but I very well could be. I just got to sneak in your garage door. And we are doing this split screen thing here for tonight, and we'll see how it goes. There may be news in the works for this podcast going forward. We will let everybody know as that happens, but we want to welcome everyone here. Welcome to the Drunk Dudes and Draws and Drunk Sports Podtards. We are on Facebook Live right now, so we hope you're paying attention and you're watching. Please comment. We can see your comments tonight. Feel free to ask us questions. You can also tweet us on the Twitter. I am at IndyCar Tim. He is at Drunk Big Red.
Still.
At the show, we are at Drunk Sports DFW. And, of course, our email address is thedrunksportspodcast@gmail.com. We want to invite you to our YouTube page for some next level hilarity and sports videos. The Drunk Sports Podcast on YouTube. You can also hear us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, CastBox, Stitcher, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, and the coveted Radio.com app. And, of course, as always, this episode is sponsored by the Highlands Performance Golf Center in Carrollton, Texas. Mr. John Gerber, Mr. Chris Bussell, the fine folks over there in Carrollton, 972-733-4111. And as always, the new website for them, HighlandsPGC.com. Go let those guys help you get your golf game where it needs to be.
They will do it.
Things off, Mr. Lance. We've got an intensive Cowboys and NFL show for you tonight. How do you feel about that?
This is the last show we will ever have, ever, without football talk. I mean, we've had this is 27, so we've had 26 shows.
Absolutely.
And we've always had talk, and we've discussed football, but we've never had a show that this is the last Sunday there will ever be of this podcast without football.
With no football talk, you're absolutely right. Of course, the NCAA got kicked off this weekend, Thursday night.
Right.
And I have one thing to say, Giga Aggies. I know they beat Texas State, but hey, it's a win. So I take all that as I can. We had a thriller last night with, who was it, Oregon State, and who did they play here in Arlington? I can't remember who Oregon State played. But it was a last-minute victory. Florida State got upset. Auburn, yes.
Auburn scored.
Oregon State was upset by Auburn.
Yeah, Auburn scored in the last 15 seconds of the game.
Yes, we were watching that at our new favorite bar there in Frisco, the Revel. I saw that Florida State was upset, so there's some college news for you if you didn't know. And we'll get into some little more college talk as the season goes on. But this is all about the NFL. This is all about football. And so to start the show off, Lance, I had a couple of different things. We're, of course, going to get into our 2019 NFL predictions. My predictions for each division win, the wild card teams going into the playoffs. Sorry, I had to get that out. As well as Super Bowl. But before we get into that, I found a very funny article degrading the Dallas Cowboys on this little website called Deadspin. Not sure if you're familiar with this, Lance.
I used to be a big follower there, a little left for me, but
I don't really pay that much attention to Deadspin, but dude, this was funny. And the name of this article was Why Your Team Sucks 2019. And they did this for every single team, not just the Cowboys. But I thought it was funny that they kind of roasted the Cowboys. And they actually make some really good points, believe it or not. So I'm going to go through this here. Of course, our team is the Dallas Cowboys. The 2018 record was 10-6. They said the Cowboys overachieved and won the NFC East last season. They also somehow got good value out of living up an oil baron's ransom for Amari Cooper.
Oh.
But in an act of divine consolation, none of that mattered in the end because Andrew Whitworth and the Rams balled them up and shat them out after DeMarcus Lawrence decorated their bulletin board after talking some Jay from Clerks shit about the Jared Goff soul. He got his ass flattened. So winning the division was a ruse, given that the rest of the NFC East last season was a laundromat someone burned to the ground for insurance money. That is true. I cannot argue with that at all. Despite their decent record, the Cowboys still did plenty of the gaudy, asinine shit they do on an annual basis. They started 3-5. They lost to the Skins, and again, I'm not going to disagree with this, after getting outsmarted by Jay Gruden, which is like when I lose an argument with one of my children.
I was hoping you weren't going to say losing an argument with me because it's
no, that'd be a little. They also got outsmarted by the Titans, a team that doesn't even know a forward pass when it's legal. They got shut out by the Colts. Their quarterback got sacked by his own lineman. Remember that or not?
Yeah.
Their salary
not quite
cap,
the butt fumble, but I mean,
no, it wasn't a butt fumble. The salary cap was a cemetery. They went headhunting, getting run over by C.J. Anderson and Todd Gurley to close out the season in the division round was just some kind of frontier justice I crave for these showy asshats. Over the course of this century, the Cowboys have been a winning team with bad habits that hopes that the rest of the league will accommodate them anyway, just because they're the Dallas Cowboys. That chesty ignorance is their brand personality. They like being this stupid. As such, the Cowboys are still considered a showcase NFL franchise, despite having had as much success as the Skins and the Bills over the last 2 decades. Again, not going to disagree. It's so perfect that the NFL's flagship franchise is such a weird, an extremely expensive mess. I see nothing in the Cowboys. And it gets even better. It gets even better. Because they address our head coach specifically. It says your coach. Yes, indeed. There's a deep satisfaction in watching Princeton boy Jason Garrett get constantly outfoxed by whatever slab of olive loaf is coaching on the opposite side. He never manages the clock correctly. He apparently thinks a punt is the ballsiest play you can run in enemy territory. It's a wonder he can work a headset, really. He is Jim Tomsula in boat shoes. You can't even outfox you and me. This is the final year of Garrett's contract, and he's pretending like he can brush it off. Oh, my God, it just goes on and on. Your new offensive coordinator is Kellen Moore, who looks like he lures campers to a shed to murder them. Not going to disagree with that either.
Well, I mean, but, you know, after seeing, and we'll get into it some more later on and more into the season, but, you know, I'm a whole lot more excited right now than I was this time last year. And even though wait, hang on, look. Somebody is, damn, that guy on the left is hot.
I don't know who that Stacey Dorsett chick is.
But I'm on the right. I'm on the right.
I know she's talking about me. Clearly.
Dude, man, that is not even right. All right, so anyway.
To her, not me.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to what Kellen Moore's got going. I kind of like some of the stuff he's throwing in and changing things up, and maybe that offense gets going a little bit, and we get to have a bit of fun this year instead of just being pissed off all the time. So.
No, and yes, and you and I have discussed this previously about is this actually a new offense? And I say, and every NFL writer in the world says it's a new offense, but you refuse to believe that.
It is not a new offense.
Thinking that we're just going to go with Jason's offense, correct? That's what you think we're going with?
No, it's Jason's offense. The offense has not changed. It's just the presentation of that offense.
But Kellen Moore is calling the plays. He is 29 years old. He is an of course, quarterback, Boise State. He was our starting quarterback, the heir apparent to Tony, before he got hurt. Tony got hurt, and then he got hurt, and then Dak stepped up, and, of course, the $40 million man, Dak Prescott, now our head coach. I mean, our starting quarterback. So the article also addresses Dak Prescott, your quarterback, who will eventually get his $40 million a year from this franchise.
He has not gotten 40 yet. We're not going to own up to that yet. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see what happens.
So Deadspin says Jerry Jones is so delighted that the Cowboys unearthed Dak in the 4th round that he'll spend the next decade paying Dak and parading him around as a living testament to his own football scouting acumen. Meanwhile, Dak was subpar last season, and they put Dak in the same frame as Eli Manning and Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't know about that.
Is he?
But they're making fun of the Cowboys.
Is he that bad? That's one thing. But no, I don't. Is he that bad? No, he's not that bad. No.
You know me. I think he's great.
I think he's a hell of a bus driver. He's a hell of a leader. But is he an Aaron Rodgers or a Tom Brady or a Drew Brees? No, he's not that.
Well, no, but there's only 3 of those in the league.
That's why he does not deserve $40 million a year, son, because none of those guys make that money.
No, but he'll get it. He won't get 40. He's going to get his 32 to 36, I believe. But that's a conversation for another day.
We'll table that, but they brought that 40 up because that makes that 32 to 36 look a whole lot easier to swallow for us diehard Cowboy fans. Yeah. That's why that was brought up. It makes that a whole lot easier to digest.
So Deadspin goes on to say that what's new that sucks, Jason Witten unretired. Why it's like having a coach out on the field. Witten is just going to keep playing football until his brain is made of coffee pudding. He has not had 1,000.
That dude's an idiot, man. That dude's an idiot.
2012, he hasn't averaged over 50 yards a game since 2013. Witten is the Rafael Palmeiro of tight ends. He'll fit right back into this, I don't know what that word is, offense. I'm already changing the channel to a rerun of Fixer Upper.
Well, that's how big of an idiot that dude is, because even though Rafael Palmeiro was a PED using fool, allegedly, the dude still produced week in and week out, just like Witten will. Yeah, Witten is at the end of his rope, and it's going to happen. And I hope we don't have to see it unfold live on TV in front of us week after week. But yeah, so Deadspin will be removed from one of my favorites to troll for funny stuff to read, because this shit that he's putting out right now is not even funny.
Well, again, they did it to every team, to be honest. So
I don't care. What does it say about the Chiefs?
I didn't go to the Chiefs.
Well, the people I'm hanging out with right now, they want to hear.
Fans?
Dude, I'm in the middle of Missouri. Of course, they want to know about the Chiefs.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, so they do. Hey, here's some props. What might not suck? Leighton Vander Esch has already assumed Sean Lee's mantle of Chris Collinsworth's pet. Watch him hand deliver an apple to the Sunday Night Football booth for Chris every other week as this jerky brain team goes 8-8 for the next 10 years. So we got a little Leighton Vander Esch love there. How you feel about that?
I'm all about nickel. I mean, he's. Of course, we love Leighton Vander Esch. And Jalen Smith got his money, and that's what it leads us into Zeke talk and what his idiot people are trying to fucking fight this franchise about. So, man, you can move on with that. It's more arguments to be made.
So the last thing I have to say to offer up from Deadspin, because this is kind of funny, regarding Jerry, says whenever Jerry dies, call it 2078. He'll be heralded as a renegade with bold ideas and not what he actually was, a handsome hick who was only intriguing to beat writers when he was clearly shit-faced. That old-ass motherfucker doesn't even do anything anymore. The Cowboys are essentially run by his son, Stephen Jones, who looks like a congressman that got caught fucking a dog. Jerry's just there to hog credit whenever something goes right and pull out his 6-shooter when he's displeased.
Well, you and I both know that part of that is correct.
Yes.
I believe that the majority of the franchise is run by Stephen and Will McClay, but Jerry is still the face of it, and Stephen will not allow anything to come out of Daddy's mouth. I mean, he can't control what comes out of Daddy's mouth, but he's not going to allow anything to come out of Daddy's mouth that will taint the franchise. So.
Nope, I agree with you 100%, man. So, I don't know, I just thought that was kind of funny. And again, I didn't read the other stuff from Deadspin about the other teams, but they roasted every team. I just thought it's, we all know that you either love the Cowboys or you hate the Cowboys. And most people outside of Dallas hate the Cowboys.
If you don't love them, then you do that.
I thought it was a funny perspective I wanted to check in on. So, let's get into our 2019 NFL prediction, shall we?
Let's do this.
Are you up for this?
I'll sit here and argue with you about all of it, so let's go.
All right. Well, let's start in the AFC, the conference that nobody cares about. And let's start in the division in the AFC that no one cares about. That would be the AFC South, shall we?
Okay. All right.
So in the AFC South, and this team in the last 2 days has been wildly active in trades. But I feel the AFC South will be won by the Houston Texans. And in no way does that mean I think they're a good team. I think they're the best team in a terrible, terrible division. They lost Lamar Miller. Bill O'Brien's offense is going to maintain. They traded for Duke Johnson. Deshaun Watson's going to improve. Your quarterback, you love Deshaun Watson. He's going to keep improving.
Yep.
DeAndre Hopkins could be an MVP contender for the league if he has a good year.
As long as his quarterback stays on track.
Yes, the defense has been solid. Fell off last year. But the biggest thing about this team, who has a ton of question marks, is that the other three teams in the league have even more question marks than Houston. So in the AFC South, give me the Houston Texans.
I do not disagree with that. Them losing Lamar Miller and to a knee injury, but they've got a backup there, and then trading off Clowney that touches them a little bit on defense. But I mean, they've still got J.J. Watt, who is perennially the defensive player of the year, a defensive player of the year candidate.
Right.
And so, yeah, I feel like that Houston is the right pick, for that conference. Yes.
All right. Moving on, the AFC East. Everyone's familiar with the AFC East. It's the deepest, I think, division in the AFC. And, of course, I mean, how do you pick against the New England Patriots every year until Brady and Belichick are gone? This is the most versatile, I think, that Bill Belichick has had of a defense in many, many years. The offensive line is back. They're strong.
The man that does the most with least.
Yeah, exactly. Tom Brady hasn't missed a beat, even though he's 79 years old.
Nope.
And they'll just continue to figure it out like they always have. Miami's going to be terrible. The Bills are going to be terrible. The Jets are going to be terrible. But by default, the Patriots.
But you said that it was the deepest conference. It's not the deepest. It's the deepest as far as the talent that New England has.
The talent pools. Yeah, you're right. The talent
pools.
But
yeah, with those other teams, they're sorry, and New England could walk out there for 16 football games and put together a division championship easily. So yeah,
if the Patriots don't sweep that division this year, I will be shocked. With those three teams that they're playing twice this year, so I'll be shocked.
Yeah.
Moving on, the AFC West, the division I love. There's not a division I love more than the NFC East. But my favorite division in the AFC is the West. Man, I love the Chiefs. I love the Broncos. I hate the Raiders. And I used to love the Chargers when Dan Fouts was there. Haven't been a big fan of the Chargers since. So, by default, they're going to repeat. The Chiefs will win that division.
Absolutely. So we definitely agree on that. But just throw something else at you. We always bitch about everybody that the Cowboys play in the NFC East. We're always going to the East Coast. At least we're not the Chiefs, and everybody in our division is playing way earlier than they are. So
no, we deal with that from a baseball standpoint with the Rangers, of course.
Right.
All of their division foes are on the West Coast. So
right.
Yeah, on weeknights when we want to watch a Ranger game, we got to stay up until 11:30, 12 o'clock to watch the end of the game. Of course, they don't deal with that with football,
But two, I mean, being a football team, if you're playing on the West Coast and you've got an early game, even though in your head you're playing at noon, your body is telling you it's 10 a.m. and I should be waking up and eating breakfast right now.
Exactly.
So
the Chiefs, and then an up-and-coming division. And we discussed this the first couple of weeks of this podcast when it started. The AFC North, the Cleveland Browns, I have winning the AFC North. John Dorsey's roster is extremely talented. Dude, this is a different team from the last the last 10 years. That's been a terrible, terrible franchise. The poor dog pound there in Cleveland has had nothing to cheer about until last year after Mayfield took over the starting quarterback job, 3 or 4 games in. And they didn't win every game, but dude, they were in every game, and they were exciting to watch.
Like him or not, Mayfield is polarizing, man. I mean, he's the dude that's going to make them or break them. He's either going to make them a contender, or he's going to bring so much negative attention to them that he folds and craps out. But the dude he's been underrated his entire life, and I don't see him failing. And if he does, call me out on it. That's fine. I think the dude is as much as I hate to say it, the dude's a stud, and he's gonna make hay. He's gonna make hay in the NFL.
Well, you know who Baker Mayfield is? Baker Mayfield is who Johnny Manziel should have been. If Johnny Manziel had a head on his shoulders,
if Johnny
to party and be an idiot and say what the hell you want and say what comes to mind, but dude, back it up on the field. You got to get to the field first. That's what Baker Mayfield does. Like you said, he's polarizing. He's abrasive, just like Johnny Manziel. But you know what? Baker Mayfield lets his play speak for him. And he's a badass. There's no question. And I hate OU. I hate OU. But, dude, I love Baker Mayfield. I'm going to be following the Browns for a long time.
They're going to be fun to watch, man. They got a lot of weapons, and they've still got his name slips me, but the defensive end that they took number 1 pick year before last, from A&M, he's that defense is coming around, and they're going to be fun to watch. They're going to be fun to watch. So I hate to continually agree with you, because that's not my mantra, because
it doesn't make for good radio.
No, it doesn't. But so come up with say something stupid so I can disagree with you.
Well, you're probably going to disagree with my NFC pick. So in the AFC, again, division winners: Patriots, Browns, Texans, Chiefs. Wild cards. The first wild card I have are your Los Angeles Chargers. Yes, Melvin Gordon probably will not play there this year.
Melvin Gordon has been given permission from the team to seek a trade. Saw that today or yesterday. I don't remember. My days are running together. My check lever light has been flashing at me. But
that was today.
So that is that's happening as we speak, as well as other talks in the league. But so I don't know. I don't believe they are as well off as the Cowboys are at the running back position as far as finding somebody to fill in. I kind of wish Jerry would say, Zeke, you want out of this shit so bad, find somebody else, take it. But again, I don't totally agree with you as far as the pick for the wild card because of that, just because of Melvin Gordon and his situation. But if Gordon shows up, they're Phillip Rivers, man. He's always been there, and even though the dude's got 9 kids, the dude still produces, even though he produces it at home too. So,
well, you mentioned Melvin Gordon being out, and I said that he probably won't play for them this year. He's either going to hold out the whole year or he'll be traded. They still have Phillip Rivers, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Justin Jackson at running back, Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram, Casey Hayward, and of course their first-round pick, Jerry Tillery, who's got a ton of firepower. And that division's not going to be super strong other than the Chiefs and the Chargers. So by default, I gave it to the Chargers. And you're going to hate my wild card number 2. I hate my wild card number 2.
Oh, shit. Hang on.
But I was looking around, and this just changed, by the way, in the last couple of days. I will tell you, my wild card number 2 before a couple days ago were the Colts. I had the Colts and the Texans kind of fighting it out for that division, and now with the retirement of Andrew Luck, which we will talk about a little bit later in the show, now that the Colts they're going to be out of it. Jacoby Brissett will not lead them to a division title or a wild card appearance. The Steelers, I have the Steelers, the second wild card spot in that conference.
You can't disagree with that either, because even though Ben Roethlisberger being the quarterback that he is, he's still one of the best in the business, and he makes chicken salad out of chicken shit, and that's what he'll do again. He's got a great running back in Connors. He's got Juju Smith-Schuster. He's got 2 great fucking talents that he can work
Bush
with
on the defense, man. Devin Bush is torn up that defense.
That offense will still produce. So I'm please say something stupid so I can argue with you, because
how about this? How big would we be in on this in the first round of the playoffs? Browns versus Steelers. in that wild card matchup.
Dude, that is bringing back old school shit that, I mean, we saw as kids, and I think that would be that would rejuvenate the hatred in that conference, and that'd be awesome.
Yeah, because since the Browns moved to Baltimore, what, 90? God, when was that? 96?
Whenever it was, they just,
96.
Art Modell said, "I'm gonna turn the light off on you."
And he did.
He did.
Like the Colts did Indianapolis, to Baltimore at the same time. But and of course, then they reemerged as an expansion team, I believe, in '99. But yeah, dude, that has not been a rivalry. That has not been a rivalry since the '80s, really, '70s and '80s.
Two of the greatest fan bases in the NFL, between the Dog Pound and the Terrible Towels, man. Those two fan bases are awesome to see.
Agreed. Yeah, dude.
As much as we hate seeing them infiltrate Cowboy Stadium, it's to have that kind of passion and that kind of love. You got to respect them. You got to respect them.
So you know how you prevent that, right? How you prevent the fan base from infiltrating to your home stadium?
Whip their ass every time they show up.
Just win, baby. Just win. Win the damn game. All right, so let's move on to the NFC. How about that? And let's start with the NFC North. The Norris division of the NFC, as the great
Norris division. Yep. Okay.
Used to call it. I have the Vikings. Vikings winning that division. Over, of course, the Lions, Green Bay, and Chicago.
I think that may be our first disagreement.
All right.
The Vikings are going to be good. I think that is a conference, that is a division of mediocrity right now, and as bad as I hate to say it, Arnie, you're part of that with the Packers. They're going to struggle. That whole conference is going to struggle. The Bears. I believe the Bears are the most talented team in that conference right now, even with Trubisky at quarterback. Maybe he has a breakout year, a little bit better than he did last year. I think the Bears will come out of that division.
So last year, of course, Kirk Cousins was the starter in Minnesota. He didn't quite live up to what the Vikings expected him, or fans expected him to be, as that high-priced free agent that he was. But when you look at the games and you look at him, if you watch them every week, and I didn't watch them every week, I did go back and watch some highlights. He didn't play necessarily terribly.
No, he's not. No, he is not a terrible quarterback. He is not. I believe he is a top 15 quarterback in the league.
I would not disagree with that.
At the bottom half of that top 15, right. Certainly. Bottom 5, bottom 3 probably. But he is highly functional, and he's got a lot of talent, and that defense will help him out tremendously.
Yes, I agree. Of course, he's going to be more comfortable with his team this year. It's not as he's more familiar because he's been there. Of course, Dalvin Cook's going to be healthy. That'll help take some of the pressure off. And the only concern I have with the Vikings is the offensive line. Mainly because it's a division with Khalil Mack, your buddy down in Chicago, and they're going to meet twice. And holy crap, we got a buttload of comments here that I have missed. We want to say hello to Mr. Gerber. We want to say hello to Travis Martin, Jason Weathers, Hector. How you doing, Hector? Good to see you. Travis throwing some opinions out there. Houston's going to be mad when Clowney makes them eat crow. KC and Cleveland's going to be Rockets. Here, let's put some of these on the screen here. Jacob. Preach, gentlemen. Thank you, Jacob. We appreciate you, brother. Travis is trying to throw out a boomer sooner. Should
really?
I do that?
So I've been sitting here watching our StreamYard, and none of that stuff's coming up on there. So, but yes, I see. Mayfield's much harder than Johnny Football. Johnny Football is, and it's going to hurt your feelings, brother. And I love you, but prepare yourself. He's a fucking snowflake, dude. He's a snowflake.
Well, you know what? I know. I'm not going to disagree with that. We have a family history with the Manziels. My dad was in the oil business and dealt with that family for years before Johnny was born, before I was born.
No disrespect to that family. I'm just saying the man himself is a snowflake, and he wouldn't
call him for what he is.
Call a spade a spade.
He is an idiot. There's no question. All right, so the NFC North with the Vikings. Let's go to that NFC South, shall we? How about your New Orleans Saints?
Now, see, it's not my New Orleans Saints. It's your New Orleans Saints because you're a traitor ass. And
I was born there, dude.
And that's the only reason. That's the only reason I'll let you get away with it. It's the only reason I'll let you get away with it. But when it comes down to the NFC Championship, and it's New Orleans Saints.
I thought I had Drew Brees on my shirt, but it's
it's Brittany. Yeah. So when it comes down to the New Orleans Saints and the Cowboys in the NFC Championship game, where are your loyalties going to lie then? Next, go ahead.
Where they lie.
And I do not disagree.
Do you know the answer to that?
I think that South. I think that NFC South with the Aints and the Blackbirds. I think it's going to be rough and tumble, man. But I do believe that Drew Brees, even though he's 56 years old, just a year or so younger than Brady, that I believe they're going to pull it out. But it's going to be NFC is going to be a tough road to hoe, man. NFC is going to be a tough road to hoe.
I still say that the Saints have the most dynamic offense in the NFL.
They've got the highest paid wide receiver in the league. They've got Alvin Kamara that can make magic happen anytime, anywhere, and they've got Drew Brees, the guy that everybody keeps giving up on, that keeps showing up and keeps making magic happen week after week. I mean,
how stupid does Miami feel after rejecting him when he came from San Diego? They rejected him based on his physical with his shoulder. Because remember, he was coming off of shoulder surgery when the Chargers drafted what's his face. So, just think, man, he could have been in Miami this entire time. Probably not winning Super Bowls, but who would have thought he'd win a Super Bowl with the Saints, the franchise that never had one before? But
I mean, and two, the other feel good story. I mean, for me and my family, Stace went to school with I just forgot his name. The defensive coordinator there at New Orleans, and she's yelling at me right now, screaming at the phone. I'm surprised she hasn't texted me yet.
The current defensive coordinator?
The current defensive coordinator for the Saints. But anyway, she went to school with him at LD Bell. Good family, good people, and again, say something stupid so I can argue with you.
All right, let's move on to the NFC West, shall we? And I don't really know that we're going to disagree here. How about those Los Angeles Rams and Sean McVay?
Another young, great mind. So maybe we have our own young, great mind in Kellen Moore, but we'll have to wait and see. But I don't see the old man in Seattle taking that over. You got Shanahan in San Francisco. Garoppolo. As big a flash in the pan as he was, is he really all that good?
Right.
We don't know because he can't stay healthy long enough to run a 3-and-out, and when he does, he throws 5 consecutive interceptions in practice.
We talking about practice, yo.
Practice. Talking about practice. So, but yeah, I can't disagree with you there. We spend far too much time together because our opinions are becoming much more alike. Yeah.
Damn it, that makes for terrible radio.
Yeah, it does.
So of course, Sean McVay, sensational. Aaron Donald, still he may be the defensive player of the year. Terrible. He may ever be the same Todd Gurley he was coming out of college. But whatever they do, McVay, he's kind of getting that same reputation as Belichick. He works with whatever he has, and he seems to make it work, and seems to make it work well. So, of course, Darrell Henderson, the rookie running back, is there. He can play. We have Jared Goff, Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods. Cooper Kupp will be back in the lineup again. We forget that he was out almost the entire season last year, and he is a badass.
Yep. Two girlies, one cup.
Right. We based on play calling. So there we go for the NFC West, your Los Angeles Rams. And let's go to your coveted NFC East, shall we?
Best for last. Let's go.
Would you like to tell me your pick first? We haven't discussed any of your picks, but I'll go first if you want me to.
Well, let me do that. It doesn't matter because it's going to be the same. You're a homer like I am, but I'm still critiquing. It's going to come down to one of two teams. It's either the Philly or the Cowboys out of the East. Nobody else can either can carry any of those teams' jockstraps as far as I'm concerned. If Carson Wentz stays healthy, I believe that they are probably the front runner as far as the division goes. If not, it all depends on again. It comes down to what Kellen Moore can do with that offense. It's the offense isn't bad. It was the play calling, it was the execution, it was the setup, and disguise something a little bit. Quit running the same people out there to run the same damn plays, and let's see what happens. And that's exactly what Kellen's doing. I firmly believe that it's going to be really, really tough. But my heart pumps blue blood, man. So I got to go with the Cowboys.
Yes. So your NFC East champions will be the Dallas Cowboys. They will repeat. Of course, we have the new triplets, Dak, Zeke, and Amari. And make no mistake, Zeke will be here for game one. Zeke will be in the facility tomorrow. And I believe we are talking right now on September 1st at 9:41 p.m. Central Time. I tell you, within 24 hours, Zeke will have his deal signed. He will be back with the Cowboys, and he will be back with the team at the facility tomorrow, ready to start practice on Tuesday.
Yeah, everything that I've seen and the all the reports, even up here in Missouri, they're saying that the Cowboys they're hard at it, and they expect to have a deal done before the end of the weekend. So, and I know we're at the end of the weekend, but it's a holiday weekend, so the end of the weekend doesn't officially end until tomorrow.
Right, that's true. So the best 1-2-3 punch in the NFL still, in my opinion, with Dak, Zeke, and Amari. They now have a full season with Amari Cooper, and we know that Dak and Coop clicked literally immediately when Coop came here to the Cowboys from the Raiders. It was amazing. The whole time that Dak and Dez played together, there was no chemistry. They looked terrible, like they'd never seen each other before on the field.
And we both,
immediately when Cooper got here,
and you and I both of us love Dez. I do.
I hate Dez.
I love Dez.
Okay, there we go. We're both on record for disagreeing.
Okay, so good, but Dez there was not a more fierce competitor on that team. Was he a diva? Absolutely, he was a fucking diva.
Man, I question that.
Was he?
I question your.
Was he almost a cancer? Yes, some of his actions, he was almost a cancer to that team.
Yes.
But whenever the dude was on and he was focused and he was getting the ball the way he wanted the ball, there was not a better football player on the field than that man anytime.
Man, we have entirely different opinions of Dez Bryant. Because I saw the exact freaking opposite. I saw a guy on the sideline that acted like he wanted to be there, that wanted to make a big show, to show everybody, man, look at me. Everybody look at me on the sideline. When I get out to run that 10-yard in and I know the ball's not coming to me, I'm going to walk 4 steps. I'm going to stop and turn around. I'm not even going to look at the ball because I know the ball's not coming to me.
There were times that the man was no different than Odell Beckham on his best day. I mean, I do too. But a great athlete, a great talent, and when his head's right, one of the best on the field. So,
Well, I wish Dez all the luck in his private endeavors, but he ain't ever playing football again.
no.
So let's agree that Dak and Amari have a way better chemistry than Dak and Dez. Correct? You agree with that?
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mark that one up.
All right. So with the new offense, I say new offense. You dispute that with Kellen Moore. They have a top 3 defense on the field. It's one of the deepest Cowboy teams that we've seen in many, many, many years. And again, they're like you said, there's not a lot of competition in the NFC East. And my basis of this, and of course we're comparing the Cowboys and the Eagles like you did. I don't, and you said if Carson Wentz can stay healthy, I'm assuming he won't stay healthy because he never has in the last 6 years of his football life, going back to college and high school. He has never had a full season, fully healthy, in 6 years, going back to high school, college, I guess, and then the pros. So it's not going to happen again. He's going to get hurt, and now they don't have super sub Nick Foles backing him up.
Jacksonville.
Wait, Nick Foles? Nick Foles. Yeah, Nick
Foles.
Foles was the kicker, right?
Foles.
All right, Foles was the kicker. Nick
Foles.
He's
Foles is in Jacksonville. Yep.
So, yes, the Cowboys will win the NFC East again. Let's get to the wild cards for the NFC, then we got to take a break.
Cool.
NFC wild card number 1, your Atlanta Falcons. How do you feel about that?
So I absolutely agree with that because it's going to be a toss up between them and the Aints. So I agree with that.
Last year they had a terrible record, but it was because of injuries. Injuries doomed them last year. The offense is still loaded. They'll have a claw in this spot. It's a brutal division, and they're playing one of the league's toughest schedules. But, dude, when they come out of the regular season, they'll be one of the hot teams, if they get there, as I predict, one of the hot teams in the playoffs to watch for the NFC. Wild card number 2, the Bears. The Bears.
Well,
the defense.
I said the Bears.
The division, right?
I had them coming out of the division, so I think there's going to be. I think the Cowboys and the Eagles come out of the East.
All right.
So
you've got the Eagles in place of the Falcons or the Bears?
I got the Eagles in place of the Bears. Because I had the Bears coming out. I had the Bears coming out of the North. So.
Oh yeah, and then winning in the division. That's right.
Yep. So.
All right. So Cowboys win in the East. Rams win in the West. Saints win in the South.
Yep.
Vikings winning the North.
Nope.
Your 2 division teams, the Falcons and the Bears, all on me, in my opinion. So there's our NFL prediction, or my NFL prediction for 2019. Lance did not verbalize his, so I'm going to make him write a short article and post it on the website so we have this on record, as I will do mine. We have to post this so that it's there.
It will be.
Perpetuity. So come January, we can go back and hold each other accountable for this. But again, we agreed on most of it, but we had a lot more coming up on the Drunk Sports Podcast tonight. We've got some shout-outs coming up next. I have one apology and correction that I need to make, and I wasn't going to do apologies and corrections on this episode, but I had an influx of tweets and emails about something that I screwed up on the last episode. So I have to address it. We've got our 2019 NFL awards predictions. We just did the division winner predictions, but I'm gonna predict the NFL awards. Who might win those? The rookies of the year, the MVP, stuff like that. We also have the 10 greatest uniforms in NFL history per me that I wanted to get into because there are some butt ugly uniforms right now.
And I'm sure I can disagree with some of those.
And you will disagree, and that's what it is. We got some XFL in Dallas talk. We got a dude who botched castration we're going to talk about. A little bit of Andrew Luck. And by the way, the Cowboys are wearing their blue jerseys in half their games this year. What is up with that? But we're going to take a quick break first. I got to pee. Lance has to pee. And Lance, this is going to be about a 2-minute break, 2.5 minutes. Go do what you need to do.
Let's hear it,
We'll
Buzz.
go from there, brother.
Later.
Performance Golf Center is a proud sponsor of the Drunk Sports Podcast. And now we're giving back to its listeners. In the month of August, reference Big Red or IndyCar Tim to any of our staff members and receive 15% off your individual range bucket. The Highlands Performance Golf Center, located in Carrollton, Texas, is North Dallas's premier practice facility. Visit us at www.highlandspgc.com. And now back to the boys.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer. Miller tastes too good to hurry through. But when it's time to relax, Miller stands clear. Beer after beer. If you've got the time, you've got the time. We've got the beer. Miller beer. If you've got the time.
Are you struggling with your golf game? Do you not get up and down as frequently as you should? Do you struggle making 6, 7, 8 foot putts? Well, it's because you don't do one thing. Practice. Hi, this is Chris Bussell, General Manager of the Highlands Performance Golf Center in Carrollton, Texas. The Golf Center is North Dallas's premier practice facility. With over 65 grass tees, 2 putting greens, a short game area, and covered heated tees, you can practice your game all year round. Located in Carrollton off Trinity Mills Road between Marsh and Midway, we're open until 10 p.m. 7 days a week. The other services offered at the Highlands Performance Golf Center are club repair, club regripping, club fitting, TPI fitness classes with Chris Orenby, our certified instructor, an 18-hole mini golf course, 2 junior golf instructors that handle all of our clinics and camps, and 6 Class A members of the PGA of America for all your instructional needs. Come see us at the Golf Center or visit the website at www.highlandspgc.com. Now back to Big Red and IndyCar Tim.
My jam, dog. It's my jam.
We are back.
It's my jam right here. You know that's right. Bring it on, baby. Oh.
Welcome back to the Drunk Sports Podcast. I'm IndyCar Tim, along with my favorite co-host in the whole world.
I'm still Big Red, baby, and I'm drunker than ever.
Man, I'm right there with you. I spent the whole day at the lake today, and we floated and we floated and we drank and then drank and floated and drank. And had to come back here to prep for this, and you've been on the golf course.
I've been on the golf course with my son Aaron and my girlfriend, my nieces, my Austin. I've been hanging out with my Austin, and man, it's been fun, man. We're blessed. We are blessed, both of us, highly. I sent you a text message, and we're going to delve off into this for just a second. That it's been a tough week. It's been a tough month, and I got a phone call yesterday. I was playing golf, and I got a phone call from a mutual friend of ours, Mr. Ben Rogers, and he just checking in on me, man, and it makes you feel good. I sent the show a message Thursday, I guess, and just told him that how that show makes me realize,
tell me that he called you back.
They have so much damn fun, and makes me smile and makes me realize that as bad as you think things are, man, it's people have it so much worse than we do, and we need to remember that. And yeah, Benny called me back, and it wasn't even a great round of golf, and he just the dude's voice and the kind of man that he is just makes you rethink the bad days. It's the bad day.
Yeah.
The bad days are even good, man. So I'm blessed to have the the family that I have around me with Stacy and Aaron and my daughter Caitlin and Jim and my mom and my brother, and I just it's wow.
It's a cool deal, isn't it, man? It's good to have support.
Yeah,
it's good to have friends and family that you can count on, and that when you show the love, they show it back. Man, I feel you all the time.
Always,
always. Even though we are, 4 states away? I haven't looked at the map recently, but I'm right there with you, man. I love you.
10 hours of hard driving, yeah, and I love you too, and your family is mine, and mine is yours, and it's just that's enough mushy shit. Let's argue about something.
We're so much family that today, while you're out of state, I went by your house looking for beer in your garage fridge.
Mi cerveza is your cerveza.
Because in the state of Texas, you cannot buy beer on Sunday before 12, and we had a lake outing. We were supposed to be at the lake at 12.
And I'm embarrassed that I didn't have any for you to steal from me.
Oh, it's all good, man. It all worked out. So, so we appreciate everybody joining us here on the Drunk Sports Podcast, keeping with our NFL theme here coming up. But we need to talk about some shout-outs. First of all, we have to talk about the Two Brothers Bar and Grill, where we were live last week. It was a great outing. Man, we had a ton of fun. It was following your fantasy football draft, and we talked a little bit about that on the show. The manager came up to me afterwards when we were packing up and just said how much fun it was, and he can't wait to have us back. And, man, there was a good crowd there, and it wasn't just the guys that were on your fantasy draft. We had some friends show up, and we had some people at the bar. Whoever that girl was that wanted to talk about Reggie Jackson showed up.
Holy Lord.
That was amazing.
Holy Lord.
So shout out to her and her friend, by the way, at the bar. She told me her name, but I don't remember what it was.
I'll remind you off the air.
I'm sure you remember. I probably have it written down in my PDA, in my Palm Pilot.
Yeah, your Palm Pilot, yeah.
My Palm Pilot. Pulling the curtain back just a bit.
Yeah,
but anyway, special shout out to Two Brothers Bar and Grill for the broadcast last week. Had a really good time there. Apologies and corrections. Like I mentioned, I wasn't going to do this week because I really didn't have a lot. But there was one thing I was completely embarrassed by that I said wrong repeatedly on the show last week. And I will blame alcohol and I will blame beer for it. But I had an influx of emails and tweets correcting me on this, so I felt like I needed to address it on the air.
Well, why don't you just blame Chappell, because Chappell was the one that was bringing us all the damn liquor. And you don't blame it on beer; just blame it on the damn liquor that was brought to us. So
our buddy Scott Chappell brought us all the shots.
Yeah, it was
during, before, after.
It was his fault.
It was his fault, but I should still know better. But by the way, just to correct, the rookie running back for the Dallas Cowboys is Tony Pollard, not Troy Pollard.
There you have it.
As I repeatedly called him Troy Pollard. But, to be fair, I have an issue with that even when I'm sober, because I have to catch myself talking to other people and I start to say his name and I have to stop and process it in my skull and make sure that I say Tony and not Troy.
Well,
so
just remember, it was the last good quarterback that we had, not the last great quarterback that we had.
You're confusing me even more now. His name's not Quincy.
Dude, come on now.
Who, by the way, is back in the news. We'll get into that next week because I do want to talk about that next week. But we're going to keep with our NFL theme for this show. I am going to give my predictions for the NFL season awards. And this shouldn't take too much time because there's not a lot of awards. And again, it's just a prediction based on going into the regular season, what I've seen in preseason and a little bit last year. Lance, you're going to be really happy about one of these because if one of these holds true, your fantasy team is going to do really well. And I'm going to start with the Coach of the Year. We've got Coach of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and then finally the League MVP, according to IndyCar Tim on this September 1st at 10 p.m. Central Time. But I have the Coach of the Year, and if all holds true like it did last year, this will happen, Mr. Freddie Kitchens of the Cleveland Browns.
Freddie Kitchens. If they perform the way they do and they're in the they win the division, I can't disagree with that at all.
So the Browns have had just one 10-win season and one playoff appearance this century. But he's got enough talent on his roster. He should be able to do both of those things this year, and I believe that is enough to give him Coach of the Year. Comeback Player of the Year. Yes, that is a thing. I had to look it up. It happens every year.
Do you not want to throw a possible backup to that Coach of the Year? I mean,
who do you have in mind? I did not do backups on my list.
Well, I mean, you always got to throw a Belichick in there because Belichick does the most with the least, right?
He should never win Coach of the Year, ever.
Why? Why not?
They should just name the award after him.
Well, and they will.
You're going to win the Bill Belichick Coach of the Year award.
They
don't
will
ever give him Coach of the Year award.
So, but if
had he won a Super Bowl with Matt Castle, he could have been Coach of the Year. But he didn't. He had to have Tom.
But then you also got to think about, if Buffalo does anything, then you got Frank Reich coming in
at Indy.
At Indy, I'm sorry, not Buffalo, at Indy. Of course, that took a hard hit with Luck being gone. But
I feel bad for Frank Reich now.
Which even more so if he does anything with that team, with Luck being gone, then he'd be in good shape. So
no, and you're right. If he does anything with that team, which he won't, then he will be in the running. I agree. Comeback Player of the Year. And I'm not sure I agree that this should even be an award because you're kind of rewarding somebody who sucked for a year for being better when they came back.
Or you're awarding somebody that never even played last year.
Or someone that didn't play last year, which is the case here, brother.
I know.
And I'm honoring your fantasy football team here with Mr. Le'Veon Bell with the New York Jets.
There you go.
So I feel he's going to start slow this year, which
should he?
As well, he should.
Should it be considered a comeback player of the year? No, because the man held out on his own volition. He held out on his own volition. It was all his own damn fault. Holding out for money. I mean, if Zeke doesn't play this year and comes back next year and wins the rushing title, then yeah, I mean, he's going to be named the comeback player of the year. But should he be? No, because he wasn't. It's not a comeback as in the man was hurt or something
big red
catastrophic happened or something like that. So should Le'Veon Bell be the comeback player of the year? No, he should not. The dude held out for money, didn't play, didn't finish out his contract, didn't do what he was supposed to do. Even though he wasn't on a contract, he had a franchise tender out there, and he was too big of a douchebag not to show up and finish out. So anyway, next.
No, and I agree with you. And I don't think this should even be an award.
So
it's there. So I'm making a prediction.
My comeback player of the year.
Andrew
Cowboys.
Luck.
If the Cowboys do what they can do on offense, Travis Frederick.
That's a good one.
Travis Frederick, dude. I mean, he's the quarterback of the offensive line. He's the one that calls the blocking schemes and everything else. And I'm not taking anything away from what we had last year, but I mean, Travis Frederick, he's the man, dude. He's a beast.
And he would be my personal pick for comeback player of the year. But from a league professional standpoint, obviously Le'Veon Bell's got a little more notoriety. He plays a higher profile position. So again, I'm not saying who I want to win these awards. I'm saying who I think will win these awards. But dude, Travis Frederick needs to win something. Of course, we haven't seen him play yet. Let's see him play a few games and finish the season healthy. Because it wasn't just the disease that he's coming back from. He had a couple of surgeries, too, a couple of injuries. Yeah,
look, I'm on TV.
That's last week's episode on the TV behind you, by the way.
Wow.
Live
Famous.
from two brothers. So, no, man.
Live from two brothers, but live from the dugout at the same time.
Man, I agree wholeheartedly. From a heart standpoint, Travis Frederick should win that. But again, I don't think he will just because of the position that he plays. And the league likes to recognize the skill positions or whatever you want to call them.
Of course they do.
Coach of the Year, Freddie Kitchens. Comeback Player of the Year, Le'Veon Bell. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Give me one, Devin Bush, Pittsburgh Steelers. Dude, he was put on earth to play middle linebacker for the Steelers. Dude, he's a stud. He's a leader. He's Leighton Vander Esch on steroids. He's a tackling machine. And that team needs him desperately to pick up some slack on defense. Even though he's from Michigan, I'll still give him the defensive ROI. But, dude, he just watch out. That might be the only thing Pittsburgh has going for them this year.
Quinnen Williams from the Jets, I think it's somebody else we need to watch out for from the rookie from Alabama. He's going to be a stud, dude. He'll be a stud.
Offensive Rookie of the Year, and this pick was difficult for me. I would have loved to have said Tony Pollard from the Dallas Cowboys. I just know that with Zeke coming on, his role will be reduced, and he will not have the opportunity to have the carries and the catches and the touches.
Are you sure it's Tony and not Troy?
Look now.
Are you sure it's Tony Pollard and not Troy?
I don't know what his name is. I might just start calling him Pollard.
I'm just trying to make you question yourself, son. That's all, baby. That's all, man. You know I love you. Go ahead.
The sexy pick for my Offensive Rookie of the Year, Mr. Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals.
And I think with Coach Bro, man, they can make shit happen if they get that offense going. So I don't wholly disagree with that. I think a sneaker in there. He won't play all season, but as much as we laughed about it when the draft happened, Daniel Jones, man, Daniel Jones he's looked sharp in the preseason. And call me stupid, but even though he's in our division, so that's the stuff I've been watching, and he's looked good. He's looked good.
And don't get me started on Daniel Jones, because when that draft pick happened, number 6 overall.
We laughed. Dude, we laughed. We laughed together.
No, I did not laugh, dude. I watched all those people on TV that were at the draft that were pissed off, all those Giants fans, and I'm like, dude, why are you laughing? Just wait. Just wait for it. And now, dude, you saw him in the preseason. I watched the first few series that he had. Dude, he is not terrible. Baker Mayfield had his famous freaking thing with the GQ interview when he said, quote, "I can't believe the Giants picked Daniel Jones," end quote. Yep. And he had to eat crow, which, again, we talked about him, and he likes to speak off the cuff and whatever. That's fine. It's all good and dandy. They kissed and made up, apparently, via text. It's a whole other story. But, dude, Daniel Jones has an arm. He has a presence. And I would not be mad if he was our freaking Cowboys quarterback here.
Nope, not at all.
Everybody dismissed that pick.
Not now.
Now watching him in the preseason, everybody's backpedaling.
Right. But I don't disagree with Kyler Murray. He's a day one starter. He's going to get all the touches, and it's his award to lose. How about that?
I don't disagree with that. My only issue is we know going into the season Kyler Murray is the number one quarterback in Arizona. We don't know when Daniel Jones will take over. In all honesty, if things go well with Eli, and I'm an Eli fan, I have no issues with Eli.
You like Eli because he sucks and he's got dumb face and he helps the Cowboys. That's why you like Eli.
I like him. You know, my son is named after him, sir.
I'm sorry.
Because I didn't want to name my son Archie or Peyton or Cooper, so I picked Eli. But, dude, I have no issues with Eli Manning. I still think he's serviceable. Yes, he's 38 years old. And you know what? he's not as bad as everyone likes to make fun of him and the dumb face and how terrible he is at quarterback. He will not lose you a game. He may not win you a game, but he will not lose you a game at 38 years old.
Yeah, he won a Super Bowl
He won 2 Super Bowls against the Patriots
by sticking a football to another man's helmet.
Did he win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he did.
There you go.
Okay, next.
Defensive Player of the Year. My pick. This is a no-brainer. There's no way this will not happen unless he is injured and out for the year. Mr. Aaron Donald from the Rams.
Again, back to the Browns. Your boy, your A&M boy, and I'm almost surprised that
Jack?
you called him out. Miles Garrett.
Jack.
Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett. He's if the Browns are in contention, yes, the Aaron Donald should. But if the Browns make hay, I don't see Miles Garrett not being in the mix. Miles Garrett and Khalil Mack, both of them, just two dynamic defensive presence, and every quarterback when they step on the field, those 3 guys, they know where those men are before they take a snap because they do not want to get hit in the ear hole with those guys.
So, of course, Aaron Donald has won the Defensive Player of the Year the last 2 seasons. There's only been 2 players ever to win it 3 years. Of course, Lawrence Taylor and J.J. Watt. But, dude, I just don't see anybody. And trust me, I wish DeMarcus Lawrence was on my list to win Defensive Player of the Year. I don't see a Cowboy winning it because Cowboys historically do not win a lot of awards with the NFL because they're mostly voted on by idiots from the East Coast who hate
because we're America's team and everybody is Cowboys anti-bias.
So yes, so my heart choice would be DeMarcus Lawrence or Jalen Smith. My brain choice is Aaron Donald. Let's go to the Offensive Player of the Year. This is a dude that may help me win my fantasy football league last year as my first pick as a rookie, Mr. Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants.
You had no idea what you were picking at the time, did you?
No, dude, it was a gut pick.
Okay, well,
because I knew Eli had nobody to throw to because Beckham was going to be hurt all year, and I figured they're going to be running the ball a shit-ass ton of times, and Saquon Barkley was their guy. I had no idea he was going to be that good. But he is a badass. He was Rookie of the Year last year. He's going to be more comfortable going into his second year. He's learned Mike Shula's offense a little bit more. He's going to be more involved in the passing game. The Giants have a ton of injuries from other skill position players. So, dude, Saquon is their guy. He's going to be their guy.
He's all their guy. Yeah, that is their offense.
He's going to put up a ton of stats, dude. And we all know that offensive awards, whether it's a Rookie of the Year, Player of the Year, whatever, are stats driven.
That's the sexy pick.
All the stats, man.
That's a sexy pick. That's a sexy pick. Yeah, and so but then you've also got DeAndre Hopkins. You've got Pat Mahomes.
Big on DeAndre Hopkins, aren't you?
Pat Mahomes.
Do you love the Houston Texans?
Yeah, I don't love them, but I mean you can't dismiss them. They've got a hot quarterback. They've got
good looking.
Not hot as in good looking. Good as in. But if as long as he can stay on his feet, he's good. Hopkins, he gets more targets than anybody in the damn league. Pat Mahomes, the Offensive Player of the Year last year, the MVP last year. The dude that will set the bar at $40 million plus because the quarterback that we have does not need to make $40 million. This dude should, and this dude will. And he's got another year, and he will wait it out. And he will make his money. The other dude that I keep thinking about, if their offense can produce, then Carolina at Christian McCaffrey, man, that cat just keeps producing. It's one of the smallest guys on the damn field, but is tough, will run between the tackles. Will catch it out of the backfield. You can put him at the X. You can put him at the Z. And the dude makes plays, man. He's everywhere you need him to be. So,
and he is the living spirit of his still alive father, Ed McCaffrey. Dude,
love that man, dude. Love him.
He was amazing, man. So,
yep.
Moving on to our last award for 2019, and to review, I had as my comeback player of the year Le'Veon Bell, coach of the year Freddie Kitchens, defensive rookie of the year Devin Bush with the Steelers, offensive rookie of the year Kyler Murray with the Cardinals, defensive player of the year Aaron Donald, offensive player of the year Saquon Barkley. Our league MVP should be a no-brainer, again, if he stays healthy. I don't even care where they finish in the playoff hunt. Mr. Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. He's going to be healthy, hopefully. Dude, he's got an incredible array of talent all around him. Deshaun Jackson has got one of the best offensive lines. They're going to protect him. The only competition might be, like you said, if Wentz can stay on the field, if Wentz can stay healthy, it might be a two-man race here for.
But we both know the man hasn't been healthy since he was in high school. So for him to make an entire season, if he does, I mean, again, if the man stays healthy and the man can produce all year long, 16 games, 17 weeks, if the man does it, then he has the talent to be the MVP. But again, don't dismiss the two old men in the league, Drew Brees, Tom Brady. Those guys, again, Drew Brees has the firepower, has the offense to do it. Tom Brady has the coach, and he's the field general. He does the most with the least. You can't pass those two guys up either.
No, I agree. It's going to be, dude, it's going to be a fun NFL season coming up, and I'm ready for it to start. And you and I have talked about doing something special for the NFL season, whether it's a separate second show every week or maybe just our show becomes an NFL show. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't mind the thought of a second show every week. It's just, scheduling and time. These things take a lot of time to pull the curtain back a bit. Man, these podcasts take a lot of time to set up every week.
Well, again, let's pull the curtain all the way back. That little bit, let's pull it all the way back. It takes a lot of your time. I do a lot of this stuff off the cuff. It's how we roll. You're
not going to do an NFL show off the cuff. You're going to be doing. I know.
Well, no, I mean, we watch enough. But you do all the legwork. You do all the research. You put the run sheets together. You make this shit happen. 9 times out of 10 will sit here and let it fly, and that's how we work, and it works that way.
You make it good. You make it good.
I make it drunk.
So we're going to figure out what we're going to do as far as an NFL show for this year and for future years. We started this thing back in March. We're now on episode 27, and with the exception of I don't know what, 2 or 3 weeks due to technical difficulties and traveling about a month ago, we've done this literally every week, sometimes more than once a week. And I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
No, I would not.
I don't want to put out a half-ass show. I don't want to do something that I can't fully invest my time and my knowledge in. So that's
as long as our 2 live-in producers allow us to do it and commit time to it and let us drink the way we do and talk sports, that I'm all in.
We're in. We might even bring in somebody to help us talk some NFL, man. If we can find somebody worthwhile.
We happen to know some people.
We happen to know some people, but we'll see what's happening. We'll make some announcements from that time.
Look, I'm Princess Leia.
Use the Force, Luke. All right, so again, moving along later in the show, we've got some Dallas Renegades XFL talk. We got the dude who was arrested after botching a castration attempt.
It's fucking great, dude. And hey, just so you know, little insight, it wasn't his first. It wasn't his first. It wasn't his first.
There's a tease for you. Yes, it was not his first castration attempt. I don't know how much we're going to talk about Andrew Luck. I have that on the run sheet. I do want to talk about the Cowboys and their blue jerseys that you and I grew up
hating,
knowing and hating as bad luck. I've heard that my entire life growing up, that the blue jerseys were bad luck.
Dude, and it's just me right now, and we'll get into it later. But I don't like seeing them. I don't like seeing the blue jerseys. I just don't.
No, and you know what I hate more than the classic blue jerseys?
Nothing really good happened in the blue jerseys. Nothing ever happened good in the third jerseys with the stars on the shoulders.
No, and I was going to say, you know what I hate more than the blue jerseys? Those stupid third jerseys from the 90s.
Yep.
Those were terrible. So we're going to talk about the blue jerseys. We're going to talk about why everyone thought they were cursed. And it's pretty significant, the reason why that rumor or that thought, that philosophy came out. I didn't realize it till I did this research, but there's an actual reason, and it's legit. That we're going to get into that. But first, speaking of NFL jerseys, Mr. Lance, Big Red Dorset.
Give it to me.
Let's talk about the 10 greatest uniforms in NFL history, shall we?
Well, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. I need to run to the boys' room. Let's pick that up when we come back.
All right.
Give us some more buzz. Let me hear some of those. Let me hear one of those.
We're going to do a break after this segment, but yeah, I feel you. We probably need to do it now. So let's do that right now. We'll come back with the 10 greatest uniforms in NFL history.
I need refills.
Performance Golf Center is a proud sponsor of the Drunk Sports Podcast, and now we're giving back to its listeners. In the month of August, reference Big Red or IndyCar Tim to any of our staff members and receive 15% off your individual range bucket. The Highlands Performance Golf Center, located in Carrollton, Texas, is North Dallas's premier practice facility. Visit us at www.highlandspgc.com. And now back to the boys.
Today there's a beer for everyone.
Hey, me and the guys are going out for a beer. You want to come along? Nah, I got a lot of data to enter into the computer tonight.
Now there's a brew for the future.
Want me to bring you something back? Thanks, but I got some right here.
Microsoft Brew.
You got a beer tap on your computer?
With a head so thick you can float
Big
a mouse
Red,
on it.
Big Red.
This straight. You make your own beer with the computer?
Absolutely.
With the right software, you can do anything.
Microsoft Brew.
Here, I call this one Windows 95. I don't know. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
And if you got to get there quicker, try the new ISDN malt liquor.
Hi, Gordon. What you been up to?
Big things, Fred. I'm a full-time student at bartending college.
Wow. I never had time for a formal education.
Well, I decided to make time, but it's not easy. Bartending college is a 4-week course.
Gee, how far along are you?
Well, let's see. This is Tuesday, the 3rd week. Hey, I'm a junior, and I'm late for a daiquiri lecture. Why don't you join me?
Why not?
Bartending College.
You've already spent enough time on the other side of the bar to qualify for enrollment.
Bartending College.
We'll teach you everything you need to know. You'll get a starter set of bartenders' jokes like...
So I says to the guy, you can stay, but the cow's gotta go.
Bartending College.
You'll learn how to roll drunks, water the liquor, and skim the cash register. And remember, as the bartender, you drink for free.
Last call
for integrity.
Are you struggling with your golf game? Do you not get up and down as frequently as you should? Do you struggle making 6, 7, 8 foot putts? Well, it's because you don't do one thing. Practice. Hi, this is Chris Bussell, General Manager of the Highlands Performance Golf Center in Carrollton, Texas. The Golf Center is North Dallas's premier practice facility with over 65 grass tees, 2 putting greens, a short game area, and covered heated tees. You can practice your game all year round. Located in Carrollton off Trinity Mills Road between Marsh and Midway, we're open until 10 p.m. 7 days a week. The other services offered at the Highlands Performance Golf Center are club repair, club regripping, club fitting, TPI fitness classes with Chris Ormby, our certified instructor, an 18-hole mini golf course, 2 junior golf instructors that handle all of our clinics and camps, and 6 Class A members of the PGA of America for all your instructional needs. Come see us at the Golf Center or visit the website at www.highlandspgc.com. Now back to Big Red and IndyCar Tim.
Yes, sir, indeed. I'm IndyCar Tim along with my favorite drummer in the whole world.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. What happened?
Can you hear me?
I got you now. What happened?
Okay.
We had
I
a
got
burp.
you now too.
We had a burp. I was drumming. I heard you, and I guess I must have bumped something. My bad.
Big Red.
Give it to me, Lance. Give it to me, Lance. Push. Me, Lance.
All right, so we're back with the Drunk Sports Podcast. I'm IndyCar Tim along with Mr. Big Red, Lance Dorsett. We're going to get into the 10 greatest uniforms in NFL history. Hopefully, Big Red had that pee break. And did you get it all out? Did you shake it enough?
Hey, shake it more than twice. You're playing with it.
Well, there ain't no shame in playing with it. I mean, I was just wondering what was going on.
Yeah, well.
But you're good now, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, because the whole thing with the Cowboys blue jerseys, they're wearing those in half of their games this year, which is asinine in my regard. Wanted to talk about the 10 greatest uniforms that I came up with in NFL history. And some of these are classics. Big Red's going to remember some of these, hopefully all of these. Some of them were great. Some of them were not so great, but they've been so bad that they're now deemed great by virtue of historical significance.
It's a push-up, Pop.
So, yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So when you have a uniform, you're grading uniforms, there's so many different variables.
We're still back there.
Yeah, that's last week. Two Brothers. Yeah, I see it.
They're watching it up here, man.
We look pretty good.
We got people in Missouri keeping up with us.
The most important aspect of that is going to be the helmet. I believe the helmet is the most important aspect of the NFL uniform.
The helmet and the logo, yes.
Even regardless of the logo, the helmet is what matters the most. Then I took into account the jerseys. Then I took into account the pants. Then I took into account the socks.
How do you look at the pants first and foremost above anything else, because you're looking at the package?
What, me personally?
Yes, you personally. Because, yeah.
I am not looking at anyone's package, sir.
Your wife is, so she makes you look at it.
Well, then she can do her own uniform judge stuff. It ain't me.
I ain't judging
so
you.
I'm going in. Oh, you just did. You just totally threw me under the bus. And I'm looking at NFL players' packages. So I'm going to put some of this. I don't know. Should I try to put this on the screen? You think this is going to screw us up?
Throw it up there to see what happens.
All right. Let's try this.
This is a big test run.
Man, I don't know. It's not going to work. I'm scared. I'm scared, brother. I'm scared.
That's what she said the first time.
Man. All right. I'm going to try this. All right.
All right. Get it. Screen share. This is a screen share moment.
Yes, this is a screen share moment. I'm trying to put the screen.
Oh, here comes. There, bam.
How about that?
Look who that is. Look who that man is right there.
Testosterone Verdi. This is my number 10.
Verdi, baby. Oh, yeah.
The creamsicle jerseys, brother. How do you like that? When those were out, dude, I hated those.
But they were so ugly, they were greatness. They have become greatness. And, whenever the new Tampa Bay stuff came out, they were ugly, but they were tough. They were a whole lot tougher looking than this. But you know what? If these guys, if they'd have won a Super Bowl in these uniforms, besides going 2-14 like they did, yeah, it'd been greatness.
The only issue I have with these,
the swashbuckling,
one of the most important parts, is the logo on the helmet. The pirate is winking. He has a knife in his teeth, and he is winking. Who is he winking at, Lance?
All the good-looking chicks, man.
What is happening with the winking pirate?
Dude, he's winking all the chicks, man, because we all know chicks dig pirates.
Do they?
Yeah, absolutely.
My daughter doesn't dig pirates. I don't know about your daughter.
My daughter, no, stop. Go ahead. Next.
All right, let's go on. That's number 10. The creamsicle Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How about number 9? Chargers Color Rush jerseys. How you feel about those?
you know what? That's the helmet is old school. That's what we grew up with, the white helmet, and that's to me. I see that helmet. I think Dan Fouts, and that's greatness. And the blue uniforms, the blue jerseys and the white helmets. I love it. I love it.
I agree. I mean, I love those. They're classic. I don't like many of the color rush jerseys, but dude, the Chargers color rush jerseys are good.
Well,
Number 8.
You might as well get used to it because the Cowboys are going to wear a lot of color rush this year.
How about the classic Oakland Raiders? Silver helmet, black jersey, silver pants.
So I went to a concert on Thursday night with and saw Saliva. And their lead guitarist, Wayne Swinney, is one of the biggest Oakland Raider, Las Vegas Raider fans that ever lived. But, dude, that is classic. That's a classic uniform. It never needs to change. Just like the Cowboys never need to. The logo's badass. The black and silver. I mean, I look at that and going back to our childhood, I think about fucking Ray Guy.
That wore his watch while he played the game. Remember that? Had his watch on his wrist while he's playing the game.
And the quarterback, dude, left-hander, he
Plunkett?
No, well, yeah. Kenny Stabler. The snake. I mean, awesome.
Kenny the Snake Stabler, rest in peace, brother. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right. About these old, late 70s, early 80s Cleveland Browns with the brown on orange. That's
those are great.
That look, man.
Those are great. When they went into this YMCA shit they got going on now with their names down their pant legs and shit, I hate it. So yeah, I'm in there.
Oh no, I hate that. The new stuff's terrible. With the orange helmets, man, that's about as classic as it comes. Number 6. The teal throwback Miami Dolphins jerseys. Those are the Miami Dolphins jerseys of my youth. Bob Greasy, right, with the white pants, the teal jerseys, the old school Dolphins logo. I do not like the new Dolphins logo.
Yeah, the new school Dolphin logo, I'm not a fan of because, I mean, and I'm sure that the 72 Dolphins that went undefeated, they'll agree. So, that old school logo makes that helmet, and that helmet makes that uniform.
Yep, agreed. Number 5, according to me, the classic Green Bay Packers home uniforms.
Another
yellow on green.
Another uniform that will never grow old. The old Acme Packers. That none of that stuff will ever change.
Packing company.
Those uniforms are classic. Arnie, I hate you sometimes for loving the Packers like you do, but dude, that's one of the prettiest teams to watch around on the field in the league.
Yep, no argument there. Number 4. The old Patriots, brother. Pat the Patriot.
Oh, yeah.
That's when I still liked the Patriots.
3-point Pat, man. 3-point Pat.
Dude, I was a fan of the Patriots in the 80s and the early 90s before they switched to that hideous whatever crap they got going on now with the...
Well, I wouldn't...
What do they call it? Look, no, they called it something here.
I have no idea what they call it, but it's cool, man. That was one of the first new ones that really came out. That really kind of stuck with me a little bit, but when they put that old school on, the red, white, and blue. I mean, you know me, I'm a red, white, and blue guy. I bleed it.
Who that is right there, right? Number 11. Remember who that is? Mr. Tony Eason, baby.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
The greatest quarterback in Patriots history.
You, son, are smoking crack.
All right, how about number 3? The classic Rams, royal blue and yellow, that they just went back to after moving back to L.A.
I think they have gone back to that more often than not now, and God bless them. It's a beautiful uniform, man. Again, it's another pretty team to watch run on the field. It makes me think about my youth, man. It's fun to watch some of these old colors come back.
Yeah, man. I hated that dark blue and gold that they went to when they went to St. Louis.
When they were the greatest show on turf.
The greatest show on turf. I hated that look, man. I love that they're getting back to that. Number 2. The Dallas Cowboys navy jersey. That is a clean, that jersey, not the double star jersey. That one, that road jersey, well, what they call the road that will now be the home jersey, with a silver helmet, blue top, silver pants. Dude, I think that is clean and that is sexy.
It looks good, but to me, the Cowboys still look wrong.
It's got to be white?
It looks wrong. Yes, they need to be white jerseys, man. I mean,
why are you racist?
It's got nothing to do with race, man. It's got nothing to do with race. It's the fact that whenever, the good cowboy always rides in with a white hat. Even though I never wore a white hat, I'm always a black hat guy, so there you have it.
By you, by the way. Number 1 classic NFL jersey of all time. Houston Oilers baby blues, baby. Dude, you know what I loved more than the Houston Oilers baby blues? Watching the Houston Oilers play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the early 80s.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you something. It's tugging on heartstrings because when I was a kid, Mom and Daddy had season tickets, and I got to see Earl Campbell in his prime at the Astrodome, and I got to see them run out in those baby blues.
Dan Pastorini, his quarterback at the time.
Dan Pastorini was there, dude,
Yep.
And that's tough to look at right now. So,
well, here, let me brighten it up for you a little bit, because the only thing wrong with this picture is the idiot Jacksonville Jaguars uniforms that are in the background, because those are terrible.
the crappy ass Jaguars.
God. I'm going to do a list of the worst uniforms in history. I guarantee you, those will be number 2, and the Baltimore Ravens will be number 1.
So why aren't the Cowboys white jerseys in their?
I like the blue better than the white. That's why.
So maybe you're wrong there. But we'll talk about it.
Are you saying I'm wrong in one of my lists?
Your wife tells you you're wrong all the time, so
yeah, you're right. No
it's just me.
No, it's not just you. All right, so those are my uniform picks. Lance, you want to get into some short shots?
Yeah, do it.
We've got some short shots. Short shots are usually things on this podcast that we did not want to do a full segment about, but we
always drag off into another full segment.
But we felt like they were worth bringing up, but they end up always getting into being a full segment. So we apologize in advance. Wanted to talk a little bit about number 1. We had the XFL. Everybody's known the XFL is coming. They just recently announced, in very dramatic form, by the way, the names of the teams. And there aren't a lot of Dallas people that are real happy with the logo and the name of the XFL team, which is the Dallas Renegades. The Renegades isn't necessarily an issue.
I got no problem with any of it.
However, their logo looks just like the old Dallas Desperados arena football team.
It doesn't look just like it. It doesn't look just like it. It's different. I'm gonna put it on the screen.
I'm gonna put it on the screen since I know this works now.
Okay. So
here's our Dallas Desperado. Dallas.
He is
Dallas
quartering.
Renegades logo.
He is quartering to us. So not right at us. The Desperados was right at us. It's a little different. Yes. Is it a lot alike? Yes, it's a lot alike. But I have no problem with it. And dude, it's tough if they go with a lot of black and.
Is he high? Does he smoke? Because his eyes are beet red.
It doesn't. Maybe he's mad.
What's he mad at? He hadn't played a game yet.
When was
Right?
the last time? When was the last time you saw me mad? My eyes were red.
Right before you left town.
Possibly. Yeah.
All right. So
That's a good song, by the way.
Dallas Renegades. That is a great song. I didn't want to play it though. So they're
Yeah,
going to have a 10
we do not own the rights to these songs, so please.
They're going to play a 10-game season. It is scheduled to begin the weekend after the Super Bowl. So we're talking February, early February. Of course, Bob Stoops of OU fame is our head coach. And there's been really no more information other than that given for months, other than the reveal of the logo and the name. So the article that I pulled up also made fun of the fact that it looks just like the Dallas Desperados. The team colors appear to be light blue and black with red accents. Team president, a former Stars executive, is Grady Raskin. He said the Renegades name is fitting for the region. There was a really cool video that they did for every team with the name announced. I'm not going to play it here, but if you want to go to, I think it's xfl.com, they have all of them. You can still watch them. It was pretty cool. By the way, the director of player personnel for your Dallas Renegades is none other than the Moose, Daryl Johnston. Former Cowboys fullback. Should be in the Ring of Honor.
Will be. He will be. He
Probably will be someday when he's dead.
No, I don't think it'll take that long. I think that I think that we're going to spin off here for a minute, but I think that.
So Timmy Newsome or Daryl Johnston, who's a better fullback?
My heart tells me Newsome, but I mean because that was when I was a kid. But Moose was the lead blocker for the world leader in rushing yards. So
and played a big part in that title.
He was
without Daryl.
He was the unnamed
rushing title.
He was the unnamed quad of the triplets.
So Mr. Daryl Johnston also, if you will remember, was director of player personnel for this team in San Antonio under the American Alliance of Football Organization, Players, Teams, America.
The longest acronym to ever be associated.
The AAF. So there were many people asking him directly, so hey, there's this dude out there, and they haven't made any real player decisions or announcements, people signing with the league or teams. So he's been asked pretty recently, so there's this former Heisman Trophy winner from Texas A&M named Johnny Manziel. Would you consider him for the XFL Dallas Desperado Renegade team? And he was very quick to say no. Hells no. His quote was, I passed on him in San Antonio with the AAF, and I'd passed on him here again, end quote. He had the opportunity to sign Manziel with San Antonio. Chose not to. Me, actually, the quarterback position, he said, it's the tone for the offensive side of the ball and really the whole team. There's so much added responsibility that goes with the face of the quarterback, that goes with the face of the franchise. I have not seen from Johnny Manziel anything consistently that would make me feel comfortable about committing to him. So my dream of Johnny Manziel playing in Dallas in some capacity will not happen. So I implore you, Moose, please reconsider, because we still need a quarterback. We still need a team. I might. Asking him to reach out to Moose on my behalf, on our show's behalf, to sign Johnny Manziel to the XFL. So, Big Red, do you know where the XFL Dallas Desperado Renegades are going to play?
I do. Would you like to tell everybody else?
So construction on Globe Life Park in Arlington will begin shortly after the Rangers season ends and after the Billy Joel concert, which I'm going to, by the way, on October 12th. The ballpark will be...
Yep, there's also another concert about that same time because I got to cook. But, yeah, go ahead.
You're cooking?
I'm cooking about that time. Go ahead.
For a concert?
No, for a wedding. Another wedding.
So confused. I'm not getting married again.
Oh, you're not? That's what I'm not cooking.
We have talked about that before, sir.
My bad.
The ballpark will be retrofitted for football with some construction nearing both dugouts so that the field can run north and south. So I don't know if you've seen, I've seen this on the intrawebs, a diagram of the ballpark configured for football, and the field does, it runs parallel to I-30 to north and south. Wait, that would be east and west. So it's perpendicular to I-30, north and south,
right.
End zones. And it kind of looks weird because it goes up against, so for the ballpark you have a left center field is the office building.
Right.
But they're making the whole thing, they're reconfiguring. Hey, we'll be back up here which everybody kind of wondered what was happening with the new Globe Life field being built. But everyone knows now it's being used for the XFL football team, which is going to be weird. It's going to be weird. I'm not going to lie. Supposedly the city of Arlington has the Texas Rangers support to do all of this because they're paying for it. Daryl Johnson was also asked about a talent pool when he said he is encouraged by the potential player pool for the XFL. The league plans to hold a draft in mid-October. He said the XFL is already ahead of the game.
Well,
he says, I feel very confident that the player pool that we have coming to the coming into what? This doesn't make sense. His quote is, I feel very confident that the player pool we have coming into the NFL the NFL cut downs. Okay, that's where he's going. Because all the dudes that were cut from the NFL here before the start of the season, they're going to try to bring in. So basically, this is a league of rejects, right?
Right.
The league held several invitation-only tryouts this summer. Johnston said that the organization of these showcases was far superior to the American Alliance of Football Organization football-related stuff combines. The one thing I thought they did a great job with was that these guys didn't get drafted. They didn't go to mini camps. They didn't go to OTAs. So they really want to play football. So, Lance, you and I we talked about the AAF when it was still there. It was still ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
We discussed it. I was a fan.
We're a fan because it was football. I mean, it was football, and
it was the NFL football, right?
Again, almost in its purest form, because those guys were getting paid next to nothing. They were playing football because they wanted to play football, not because of the millions of dollars they were making. They were playing football as a chance to possibly get called up to the NFL, the not for long, and it just, that's how it worked out. So, and that organization was terrible. I stated my opinion about that. I mean, how do you?
I thought it was pretty good.
What? Yeah.
As an alternative to the NFL.
As an alternative to the NFL, play wise, yes, it was decent. But the fact that you have people, you start a league, you sign people up, and you tell them you're going to pay them for a full year of football, and then you get halfway through the damn season and say, oh, you know what? We're out of money. I'm sorry, we can't pay you anymore, and you cut people loose, and that's bullshit. I mean,
I agree, but the failure of the league is different than the structure of the league when it was there. So,
but the structure of the league is based. The structure of the league is based on the people that ran the league, so it all comes back to the same damn people, the same damn problem. They didn't have the money to do it. They shouldn't have started it. They shouldn't have put those people's hopes and dreams, their lives in there, and done shit like that, and turn people's lives upside down. I mean, was it fun to watch? Yes, it was fun to watch, and
But you're sullied by the end result of what happened.
No, my opinion is that it's bullshit because the guys' lives that were turned upside down, the carpet was ripped out from underneath them, they were thrown back on the damn street, no jobs, nothing else. A dude could have been making money, could have made more money working at Home Depot or anywhere else than what he was doing playing football for the AAF, and he wanted to play football instead and got that shit ripped up from underneath him. So
I agree.
It's bullshit.
I'm not disputing that. No, I agree 100%.
I mean,
but that's
you got people's livelihood. How do you?
The demise of the AAF is an entirely different story, and maybe we'll get into that someday. My question to you was, do you anticipate a quality product with the XFL?
It's going to be, I believe it will be every bit as good as the AAF, yes. But as far as everything else, I think I'm looking forward to it. Yes, I am. And to have a team that we can follow and support. I'm looking. Hang on just a second. I'm looking forward to having a team in the area, but I just hope they got the shit together, man. You know,
gonna go to some games?
Yeah, we'll go to some games. Maybe we throw a table out there and we do a podcast right in the middle of the game.
Telling anybody?
Why not?
What are they gonna do? Kick us out?
Well, there'll be like 6 of us there, and 2 of us will be doing a show.
Big Red.
That's who I love.
Give it to me, Lance. Give it to me, Lance. Push. Give it to me, Lance.
Shots fired. So the XFL is coming to Texas next year in 2020. Just to run down the releases of the other teams in the league, we have the Dallas Renegades, the Houston Roughnecks, the Los Angeles Wildcats, the New York Guardians, and by the way, my favorite team before the league starts right now, other than Dallas, because they have the best nickname. What the hell is that?
This?
Good Lord. The St. Louis Battlehawks. We have the Seattle Dragons, the Tampa Bay Vipers, and the DC Defenders, who, by the way, might be better than the Washington Redskins. We're not sure yet.
See, that might be fun. Maybe all the teams that you have in the area would have a shitty NFL team. If the kind of do it like the Premier League does, have them play in. If the XFL team can beat the NFL team, maybe that team takes their place in the NFL. So whenever the DC team beats the Redskins and wipes their ass with them, maybe we get somebody else to make fun of besides little Danny Snyder and his shit. We get another team to throw in there. So
yeah, he needs to be out of the league, dude.
Yeah.
He should not be allowed to own a team. So moving on, we're going to get to your favorite story of the week. Moving on from football and XFL, we have a man that was charged after a botched castration. And you don't have the sheet. This was your story. I know you don't have it in front of you.
I don't,
So
but
I'm going to read it because I can't deliver this any better than the way it is written. I have to read it verbatim because it is funny as hell.
It's greatness, dude. Dude, I laughed the entire time, and I'm thinking, it's a Florida story. It's a Florida redneck.
This is my second favorite story we have tonight because there's one that I have that you gave me that we forgot to put on the run sheet.
The Florida man arrested for barbecuing a child molester?
No, it wasn't that one.
Oh, dude, I have that one.
Oh,
I have that one. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah. Florida man arrested for attempting to barbecue child molesters. That's even greater.
My favorite one was Florida man dies in a meth lab explosion after lighting farts on fire.
I happen to have that one too. But yeah, the child molester, me being a cooker, as I am, a man that wants to barbecue a child molester, I'm all in. Let's light that
No issues
motherfucker
at
up.
all.
Yep.
No issues at all. All right. So a man was charged after a botched castration, and of course, as Lance said, this is from Florida. And I love the writing of the article because it starts out, this one is a little ... Let's just say sensitive. You could even say it's kind of nuts. Just before midnight on Sunday, August 18th, a deputy responded to a home on Ordney Road in Sebring after a 911 hang-up. Now, these are pretty routine, and deputies respond to many of them per shift, but most of them don't make the cut when it comes to being memorable. This one will definitely hang around a while in their memory. While the deputy arrived and knocked on the door, it was answered by a 74-year-old Gary Van Ryswick. He told the deputy he had just performed a castration on a man, and to say the least, Van Ryswick had dropped the ball on this one. Deputies found the man on the bed with a towel over his groin, which was bleeding heavily. Nearby, there was a pink container which held 2 body parts that had recently been much closer to the victim. The victim was taken to the hospital and was later flown to a regional medical center listed in stable condition. The room was set up like a surgical center with medical equipment and painkillers. This is the best part right here. There was also a camera set up to record the procedure. Van Ryswick told the deputies he had met the victim on a website on the dark web called eunuch.com. By the way, click that at your own risk.
Yeah, that's...
Which is for people who have a castration fetish. He told the victim that he had experience on animals and had even removed one of his own testicles in 2012. He told deputies he had tried to perform the procedure on the victim a week earlier, but when he tried to sanitize the area, something came up. So the procedure had to be delayed. He also said he had done a similar procedure on a man in a local motel a few years ago that turned out pretty much like this one, but couldn't remember the man's name. That man went to the hospital, but law enforcement was not notified. Van Ryswick was arrested Monday and charged with practicing medicine without a license, resulting in bodily injury and a second-degree felony. His bond was set at $250,000.
God bless Florida.
Anyone who has information about Van Ryswick is asked to call Detective Roger St. Lawrence or email him with the Highlands Sheriff's Department in Florida. Tips can also be anonymously left on their app or through Crime Stoppers in Florida.
Just a tip. Just leave the tip. Just the tip.
Oh, so there's a note. There's a note. Not all arrests result in convictions. Everyone is considered innocent until proven guilty in court.
Just a tip.
So, Lance, I ask you this, Big Red.
You are not doing a castration on me in my own house.
Have you ever considered a show castration?
No. Yeah,
me neither. So the next one
is... Have I considered punching you in the balls during the middle of the show? Yes, I have.
Yeah, that happens frequently. So this one is my favorite story. And the headline is, Florida man dies in meth lab explosion after lighting farts on fire. This is out of Gainesville, Florida. This is not a little town in the bayou. This is a large town in Florida. This is the capital, I believe, of Florida. I could be wrong. I think Gainesville is the capital. A 37-year-old man is dead after his trailer home was destroyed in a meth lab explosion, caused by him lighting up Blue Angels to amaze his wife. The man's wife was found laying naked in the front yard. Hey, y'all, watch this.
Hold my beer. Watch this.
The man's wife was found lying naked in their front yard, reportedly still laughing. A Blue Angel is when you put a lighter up to your butt and fart on it, causing it to catch fire. It's as funny as shit, explains my wife, who claims to be an expert on the subject. Normally we go to Del Taco because of their 59-cent tacos, but we made some extra cash this week, so we went to Chipotle. The farts you get from there could fill a gas chamber. I know he's looking up from hell, laughing his ass off, saying it was worth it.
In more ways than one.
Said, smiling through blackened teeth, apparently not caused by the fire.
Oh, God.
The woman plans on suing Chipotle, which failed to address their peppers causing a higher rate of methane in human farts. She offered a statement. I'm not mad about my husband dying. I just got my eyebrows did, and now they're gone.
Folks, you can't make this shit up, man. As much of awful, evil, stupid shit the internet has, there is some great ass fucking real life comedy out there. And I'm telling you, man, some of the stuff that I read, just I haven't laughed like that since I read that story originally. Thank you, Tim.
Chipotle Mexican Grill has yet to respond.
At least it wasn't Taco Casa. It's not Taco Casa. Jeb, you're good. Taco Casa's fine.
So there you go. All right. We are 2 hours in, and we're going to wrap things up. Lance clearly needs a Bloody Mary, and I clearly need more beer. And we never do a 2-hour show, so we apologize for this thing going long. But we just tried this thing with Lance being 2-3 states away, and I hope that it worked out. We're going to listen to the recording. By the way, everybody, please check us out on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, CastBox, Stitcher, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, Radio.com. But we implore you, most of all, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on that little bell so you get notifications when we post stuff. We're going to have some golf outings coming up. We're going to be posting a lot of stuff from the golf course live. It's just going to be full of hilarity and sports hilarity. You're not going to want to miss it, so you're going to want to be notified so you can laugh your butt off like you did on this story. Right, Lance?
Like I said, I've laughed more right now than I have in a long time. It's good, man. It's good.
Dude, so we appreciate everybody for being part of this one. This was episode 27 of the Drunk Sports Podcast. We will be back next Sunday. I don't know if we will be together or if we will be apart like this, but we hope this worked out. We hope the audio quality worked out. We hope the video quality worked out. We appreciate everybody coming on with us tonight. It's been a lot of fun, man. And Lance, Lance went through a lot to facilitate this while he was up there, and we cannot appreciate the Dugout Sports Bar and Grill up there on Vine Street in Monroe City, Missouri, more than we do right now.
Thank you,
please
Terry.
tune in again next week. Check us out on Twitter, on Facebook. We'll be back. Maybe together, maybe not. But Lance, why don't you go ahead and take us out of this episode, brother?
Once again, as always, folks, we thank you for joining us, and we ask that you like and share and tell your friends about us. But most of all, when you're hunting those demons, if you need anybody, you want to talk to somebody, Timmy and I are always available, and we will run through that door for you. We will run through heaven and hell. We love you. Please stay with us. Talk to us. There's nothing we won't do for you. We love you. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good night. God bless.
All right, thank you for listening to this episode of the Drunk Sports Podcast. Join us next time for more Drunk Sports Talk with Lance and Tim. They are hammered. Until next time, here's to ya.
We're all drunk.
This is the funnest night ever.
call me